Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. If you want to call in, 570-530-8316. And let's get it started with DAZN. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Uisma Lima. So there you go. Jaron Ennis, man, he looked great last night. He really did. He smashed Lima in the very first round. I mean, he knocked him down fairly quickly in that first round. He then followed it up with two other knockdowns, prompting the ref to come in and stop the fight. Lima had offered up like zero resistance. I mean, you could tell right away that there was a class difference here. You know, this was a large class difference. Lima, honestly, didn't belong in there last night. You know, he really didn't. But Boots did what he was supposed to do here.
Did he really, though? Did he really? What he was supposed to do was fight someone else, actually. That's what he was really supposed to do.
Right? Yeah, that would have been much better.
I want to get technical about it. Did he really do what he was supposed to do?
I tell you what, you're right, man. When you're right, you're right. You know, but you got a guy here who had 18 pro fights? He's 32. We're talking about Lima here. 32 years old. He's got 18 pro fights. This was the first fight that he fought in the U.S. Never fought in the U.S. before. So he's fighting in this dude's hometown.
Great opportunity for him. Big
Great
fight for him.
Sure.
I don't fault him whatsoever.
This is his Super Bowl.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Right. Now, as far as Eddie Hearn, did Eddie Hearn do what he was supposed to do? That's up to you guys.
Listen, Eddie Hearn was gaslighting the living fuck out of everyone that would listen about how dangerous of a fight this was. Okay?
Yeah.
And then at the end of it all, he jumped up and down like Boots just won the undisputed title. And then he's screaming and yelling to the high heavens about how this guy would beat everybody. And he's the next Terrence Crawford. You want to be the next Terrence Crawford, you got to do Terrence Crawford type like things. When Terrence Crawford moved up from 140 to 147, he fought the best available guy, and he fought for a title. He fought Jeff Horn, who at the time was ranked number 8 by Ring, right? Then when he moved up from 147 to 154, he fought Madrimov, right? Who at the time was the best at 154.
Yeah.
Then when he moves up to 154, he circumvents 160 and goes up to 168. He fights the best guy at 168 who's a champion. So if you want to be called the next Terrence Crawford, you need to move like Terrence Crawford, because right now you're not moving like Terrence Crawford. And again, you know, he even said at the press conference, Eddie was saying, "Oh yeah, you know, we want a champion. We want Virgil Ortiz." But again, he came out and said, "Yeah, we want that fight. That fight's going to happen." But Boots and his team wanted to get their feet wet at 154 first. They wanted a stay busy tune-up type fight.
Why couldn't they pick somebody else for a stay busy tune-up fight?
Yeah,
at least somebody that you've heard of.
Let's look at the Ring's top 10 here at junior middleweight. Right? You got Virgil Ortiz at number 1. Obviously, he's fighting Lubin. You have Sebastian Fundora number 2. Madrimov is injured right now. He's coming off of 2 surgeries. He won't be back till probably December or maybe January or February. You got Murtazaliev. I don't know why you didn't fight him. And you got Lubin, who Ortiz is fighting. But again, you could have been the one fighting Lubin instead of Ortiz. You got Zayas. I don't think Zayas probably would have taken the fight. Brandon Adams just fought Bohachuk. And then you got Ramos. Jesus Ramos would have been a nice guy to fight. Abbas Baru, who's a WBA champion, why not fight him? You want to get a belt? Why not? Oh, but we need to get our feet wet first. And again, this fight was for the interim junior middleweight title, the WBA interim junior middleweight title. And then I guess the guy who you really wanted to fight was Bohachuk, but he fought Brandon Adams in front of 70,000 people on Netflix on the undercard of the biggest event of the year. So you went from fighting Bohachuk, who would have been a suitable opponent, I would argue.
Yeah.
And then you went to him fighting Lima. Why not Jesus Ramos?
And Lima was ranked. You said that Lima was ranked like number 5 on one of the sanctioning WBA or something like that.
So all these guys who want to
how was he ranked number 5?
All these he's nowhere near anywhere near the top 10 in the rings ratings.
I don't understand. No, absolutely not. I don't understand how this guy was ranked 5 though. I don't get that. How did you look at his body of work?
6'8".
You know, how did you look at his body of work and say, you know what, we're going to rank this guy 5th?
You know, and
really?
and again, this is not hating on Boots. This is actually a compliment to Boots, because when you look at Boots, and we put so much stock into resumes sometimes, and what do we always say on this show? Everybody fights nobodies until they fight somebody.
That's right.
So we obviously are going to take that into account, a resume, but we also look at somebody too. Sometimes you can just look at somebody and say, I know the eye test. Everyone hates when you say, oh, well, the eye test. What the fuck does the eye test mean? But any logical person can look at Boots and say, this guy is a talented individual. So because he's so talented, that's why you expect so much more out of him, right? And again, Eddie Hearn loves to say how he's the kingmaker as far as promoters go. I'm the best promoter in the world. And to his credit, he has tried to crack this American market, right? But has he created an American star yet? And if you are going to create an American star, are you going to do it having one of your fighters who has the potential in the world to be arguably one of the best in the world, and you're going to have him fighting against a guy, Lima, with all due respect, that nobody knows in front of 6,000 people? How is this part and conducive to a star building process? Tell me, please explain and educate me. I want to learn. I want to learn. Making the next American star for dummies. Give me the course. I'll sign up tomorrow. I want to learn. Teach me. Explain it to me. Break it down for someone like me who's an idiot.
I don't understand.
That's rhetorical, by the way.
You know, with Lima, I mean, you know, you and I do this week in and week out. That's all I mean, honestly, during the week, we're sending each other articles. We're
reading. We're sending
in depth in boxing news. We're videos, news, everything. We do this, and we've been doing this for 550 some odd shows now.
Whoa!
Right?
Next April will be our 10th anniversary.
Yeah, how crazy is that, right?
Write that down.
Right. You know, and we've never heard of this guy. We've never heard of Lima before. Like, neither one of us had. You know, before this fight, we had never heard of him. And it's like, where did you get this guy? I mean, really, how did you have him ranked number 5 or at least in the top 10? I don't understand that.
And everyone is going to continue to cape for these sanctioning bodies. They're going to continue to rah-rah about how great these sanctioning bodies are. Meanwhile, we have like 7 champions per division. You got an interim champion. You got a regular champion. You got the gold belt. You got the diamond belt. You got the silver belt.
Yeah.
Right? And educate me. So can I go down to fucking Publix right now and pull someone pull someone up behind the register and knock them up the fuck out, and I'll be a star too? Is that what we can do now? We can go down to Publix. We can go down to the Park and Rec Center and start pulling people out behind fucking desks and offices and start knocking them out. Does that make us a star? Can I fly to San Francisco and beat the shit out of Robbie and knock him out and I'm a star?
Right.
Come on now. Let's set the bar a little bit higher.
Yeah. And I mean, but by the way, you know, Boots has got 30 some odd fights now.
35 fights.
35 fights, right? And he's got like 32 knockouts or whatever. I get it. Put him, we've seen enough build now. There's no need to keep building him. Now he has to fight somebody.
I'm going to say something.
You're not going to elevate him fighting these guys anymore. You're just not.
Yeah, I'm going to say something. This did nothing for Boots. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
No, I don't think it did either.
Nothing. You want to build a star. This was nothing. Nothing you did built the star here. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
What is Boots' record here? It's 35-0 with 31 knockouts. He's got 31 knockouts. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be built up anymore. He needs titles, and he needs guys to fight for titles. That's what he needs.
Let's look at Boots' last 6 opponents. Karen Chukjudajan, right?
Yeah.
Roman Villa. David Avanesian. Then he rematches Chukjudajan again.
For what?
After
his first fight, it was a shutout.
He shut him. So again, like, what is this, right?
Why? Yeah. Why did we have another one of those fights?
Then he fights Stanionis, right? Fine.
Decent
Respectable.
opponent. I don't hate that.
Legitimate. He won the ring title. Legitimate. Full credit. And then he goes and fights Lima.
Yeah.
Then he goes and fights Lima. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is the Eddie Hearn. I think this is like the Eddie Hearn playbook. I mean, I really do. He doesn't. He comes in there. He makes all these promises and doesn't get those guys fights. What was it? The Amir Khan. Remember Amir Khan and Kell Brook? He had both of them signed to Matchroom. Couldn't make that fight. They made it a couple years later. He couldn't make that fight.
Listen,
That's your job.
Eddie Hearn is a good promoter, but let's look at all of the shortcomings. Joshua never fought Fury, never fought Wilder, right? You had, like you said, Kell Brook and Amir Khan had both of them at the same. Couldn't get them to go.
Yeah.
Right. Conor Benn. I understand he's fighting Chris Eubank. That's great fights, big money fights, but the guy doesn't have a title, right? Like, again, you had Kyle Froch for a little while. You have Bam. Like, where's the American superstar? And where is your Mayweather Pacquiao, right? Where is your Crawford Canelo, right? Where is it? Where is your, like, name one, like, again, Joshua versus Klitschko was a huge fight. But that's a UK fight. That's not one for the record books. Like, name me like a fight that's in the top 10 biggest fights of all time that Eddie Hearn promoted.
Can't do it.
Can you do it?
No.
Can you do it?
No, you talking about worldwide, because in the UK you can pick Joshua. You can take the Joshua.
I'm talking globally. I'm talking global fights.
No, that the world stopped and had to watch that.
Yeah.
No, you don't have it. You don't.
No. What Terrence Crawford did a couple weeks ago was monumental.
Yeah.
That was the biggest fight probably since Pacquiao Mayweather. And
for sure.
And it also delivered. I'm not going to lie. I've watched that fight about 5 or 6 times already because you could say it was, even though it wasn't Hagler Hearns, Gatti versus Ward, but just watching the tactics, that was a masterpiece.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a beautiful fight. If you, like I said, even casual fans were looking at saying, wow, that guy's really skillful.
Right.
I've never heard a casual fan in my life ever say that.
Right.
The word skillful, I've never heard it. Crawford and Canelo, and we don't want to take anything away from guys, like, they saved boxing a little bit. Like, they finally, they did what they were supposed to do on every level.
Yeah.
Every level. Right? That's what you need. People worrying about this and that. You got everyone acting like a jealous girlfriend, worried about the new girl at school because she's prettier than everyone else, and now all of a sudden she's the slut now because she's pretty. That's how everyone's acting now with this whole TKO thing.
Right.
All these other promoters are acting like the jealous girl at school, and TKO is the new girl that everyone thinks is a slut just because she's pretty. So now they're going to go around telling everyone how big of a slut she is just because she's pretty, and all the boys like her, just so they can make that pretty girl look bad. Do something. Do something. Stop worrying about what someone else is doing. Do something. American boxing's in the fucking toilet.
Yeah, it is.
And
it really is.
And for one day it wasn't. Right? For one day it wasn't. Canelo versus Crawford. And you know what? When Crawford fights again, guess what he's going to do? In his first fight, he's going to fight for a world title. He's not going to fight a guy in the 20 ranked number 20 or 25. He's going to fight for a world title if he decides to fight again at 160. He more than likely is going to fight either Adames, or he's going to fight the winner of Janabek versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. That fight's probably really close to being announced from what I'm hearing. And then they'll have 3 belts. And Crawford in his next fight, he's going to move down and he's going to fight for a title.
Yeah.
He's not going to try and get his feet wet. What Crawford's going to do is he's going to walk off the diving board and he's going to jump headfirst into the deep end of the pool. He's not going to just twinkle toe his way into the kiddie pool. He's diving all the way in the fucking deep end. He's not going to fight a guy in the top 20 or 25 so he can get his fucking feet wet. Again, you want to be the next Terrence Crawford. Do Terrence Crawford things.
Yeah.
That's it. Do Terrence Crawford things. This was
simple.
This couldn't be farther from a Terrence Crawford thing what happened last night.
You know, and I like Boots.
And I like him too.
Boots is a great fighter. I mean, you can see it. He's got the skills. You can see it.
But
he's wasting his time right now.
It's
a complete waste of time, right? These are meaningless fights.
Meaningless fights.
Every fight that Hearn has given him so far has been meaningless. Every one of them.
Except for the we'll give him the Stanionis fight.
Yeah.
But even then, Stanionis is not, respectfully, not a big name.
No.
Why weren't you the one fighting? Oh, we want to go the IBF route. Okay, going the IBF route was waiting for Spence and Crawford to fight for undisputed, and then you knew that they were going to vacate one of the belts, so you fought for the vacant IBF title.
Well, and right? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, with with PBC and everything, that was tied up for so long. With Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, that was tied up for so long. And I get it. So, and we knew he was waiting in the wings. We knew that. So what does he do? He's still fighting nobody. And it's not because of his talent. I think he'll fight anybody. He wants the big fights. But it's up to his people to get him the big fights, which they're not doing.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Eric. I understand where you're coming from, but if he demanded to fight a big fight, they would get it for him, in my opinion. he's going along with it. He's going along with this plan. Terrence Crawford, I'm sure he has opponents laid out in front of him, and even Turki Al-Sheikh told him, "Are you sure you want to take this fight?" Turki Al-Sheikh advised him to take another fight. He wanted this fight with Canelo. Everyone was telling him, "Oh, this is too much," and he took it.
And he won.
Let's shoot that right down.
Get that.
Columbus Day is tomorrow. I got to get ready for the holiday.
You got to get ready. You got to get your mind right for Columbus Day.
Right. Italian meal tomorrow to celebrate. I'm half Italian. I'm going to eat some manigattis tomorrow. Come on.
Manigat. He's going to eat some manigat tomorrow. Some prosciutto and some manigat.
When I'm thinking about my manicotti, no disrespect to Big Tex, I don't want to be thinking of him and manicotti at the same time.
So Hearn says he's gonna look for Virgil Ortiz next.
We'll see.
Now that's a big fight.
And I think Boots would win that fight.
Yeah, I do too.
I do.
I think Boots wins that fight. But if Hearn doesn't deliver this fight, and he's still got to work with De La Hoya on this and everything like that. But if Hearn doesn't deliver this fight, I think Boots needs to cut his losses and get out of there. I don't know how long his contract is. I don't know how long his contract is up for.
Eddie Hearn promoted a couple Shakur Stevenson fights. But Shakur did something very smart. You know what he did? He said, why do I even need a promoter if I'm just going to work with Turki Al-Sheikh? Turki Al-Sheikh is just going to get me fights, then why do I need a promoter?
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. So I suspect, and again, this is just me, I'm not being a hater, I bet you in a couple fights, Boots leaves Eddie Hearn. Because I was looking.
He's going into TKO. Yeah, he's going to be in TKO, no question.
I was watching and listening and watching the body language, and of course I'm not a psychiatrist. I only pretend to be one on the camera.
Sure.
But he's like, oh yeah, look at how much money you made tonight for 1 minute's worth of work. And like Boots is like, what? I made a lot of money tonight. Like he was questioning the money he got to. Like he wasn't like, oh yeah, I got paid. Like he was actually like questioning it a little bit. Like, did I really get paid a lot of money?
Right.
I'm sure he wanted more, you know? Right. So again, like, you know, and then I don't know. It just, I think if the fights don't get delivered that he wants eventually, he's going to leave. It's my opinion.
I think I cannot wait to see if TKO can take this thing over and get the fighters and get a UFC style format going, because that's really, I mean, you know, and Eddie Hearn was trying to, you know, piss on that this weekend. He said that he was talking about Dana. He says one of these fighters, he was on Ariel Helwani, I think, and he was talking about, Eddie Hearn was saying, you know, when will these fighters realize that, you know, the UFC puts on these events and they're making how much money and they're only getting paid fractions of it?
First of all, let's I'll make this brief because I could go on all day about this.
Yeah. He doesn't know what they're getting paid.
Yeah. Let's unpack the whole antitrust lawsuit, because that was going on for 10 years. And the UFC didn't actually pay that out. You know who actually paid out the settlement money? TKO did.
Yeah.
And you know why TKO did it? They paid it out in 2024. Because you know why? Because TKO is a publicly traded company, right? Worth $42 billion, right? So they said to themselves, you know what? This is a flash in the pan for us, right? Because they were going to end up having to pay out way more than $375 million. So because TKO decided we don't need all this negative publicity, we have a board members, and technically too, board members can actually sue the company that they're a part of if they don't like what they're doing. So TKO said to themselves, let's nip this in the butt. We don't need all this negative publicity. It's not even it's like barely 0.9% of what our market cap value is. We could shit this out tomorrow. It's not going to mean anything to us. So they paid it out. So if it wasn't for TKO and UFC did not merge with WWE after they were bought by Endeavor, because once you go public, everything changes. You're regulated by the SEC. So all the bullshit that went on before can't happen now. It's virtually impossible. None of that stuff's going to happen, number one. And number two, TKO paid out that settlement. And if it wasn't for TKO and UFC did not get bought out by Endeavor and they didn't go public, that lawsuit could have went on for decades.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that right now. Could have went on for decades. So, yeah, they paid out the settlement because TKO decided we're going to pay this out. So, again, if everyone's worried about this whole pay thing, they're a publicly traded company that they're going to be regulated by the SEC. Everything's going to be made public. You know, like how much did Boots make last night? We don't know.
No idea.
Remember the purses were supposed to be reported to commissions all of a sudden? Remember we used to get that information? Where did that all go now? How much are these fighters really making?
Yeah.
So I
would agree.
So again, we don't really know. So instead of being the jealous girlfriend worried about the new pretty girl who started school at your school, fucking outperform these guys.
Yeah.
If TKO sucks so bad, then why the fuck is that? Why is he continuously crying and complaining? Dana White doesn't care what when does Dana White bring up these other guys? When does he
Never.
You know? He never meant, like, they're the ones that are crying and complaining about this guy, and they're worried about an Ali Act that has never, ever been enforced in its 20 years since it's been in inception.
Yeah.
It's never been enforced. Never a judgment. A federal district court has never rendered a judgment. Never. And even when you go back to the Austin Trout situation, he cited the Muhammad Ali Act because the WBO would not rank him number one, right? So what happened is he tried to go to a federal district court, and they said, "Well, just have an arbitrator." So they went to an arbitrator to get it settled, and then he wins his arbitration, and he gets ranked number one. and he gets 48, and then the WBO in turn gives him 48 hours to fight Liam Smith, and he didn't fight Liam Smith. So again, there's never been a federal district court ruling in any case citing the Muhammad Ali Act.
Yeah,
never. So what are they really arguing about here? They just don't like Dana White.
They don't like
Dana White.
That's it. Alexander Wilson, thank you so much. He said Ennis told Turkey earlier this year that he wanted 2 tune-ups for 154, and Turkey said goodbye. Go get Eddie to pay for those tune-ups. It speaks volumes. Nathan Bendon here. He says that Boots just re-signed with Matchroom on a long-term promotional deal contract before the Lima fight. Shows what you guys know. I don't know what that means.
Well,
because I looked up the contract, and the contract, it just says multi-year. What does that even mean? Is that multi?
So what does that mean? So to support your claims, you would have to cite a source, and you would have to drop a link in there, okay? Because Boots's contract with Matchroom has not been made public.
No,
has not been made public, and judging by other contracts that Eddie Hearn has had with American fighters, like he had a 2-fight deal with Shakur Stevenson. What's going on now? So before you say something, you have to cite a source, which is what we do here. And if we don't have a source, we say this is what we've heard. So you're saying something definitively. If you don't have a source and you can't drop a link, then what you're saying has no credibility, with all due respect.
Yeah. And I've got it here. I've got it, let's see here. From Matchroom Boxing on there, it says Boots Ennis pens long-term multi-fight extension with Matchroom. I don't know, again, but it has no information on how many fights.
What are the details? How many fights? What is long-term?
What does long-term mean?
4 fights?
You know,
4
people
fights?
have a tendency to play with those words quite a bit. You know, long-term, multi-fight, you know. Is the multi-year deal? What does that mean? Does that mean he's got, you know, he's only going to fight X amount of times in a year, and that's he's got a 4-fight contract? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
What does long-term mean?
Right. But I can say anything I want and put a press release out. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't have access to the contract. Nobody seems to know what the contract is.
And isn't the words long-term subjective? Right?
100%. Long-term. What is long-term? For me, it's 24 hours. What is long-term to you? 2 weeks. You know what I mean? What's long-term mean? I don't know what that means.
Listen, if I date a girl for a couple of days, I consider that long-term by my standards. with the schedule of honey dips that I have,
lots. By the way, lots.
If I decide to spend 3 days in a row with one of the honey dips, technically that's a long-term relationship.
That's a long-term relationship.
That's a long-term relationship by Beep standards.
That's right. That's right. Alexander Wilson, a multi-year long-term can literally mean 2 years. You're right. It could mean whatever.
Just 4 fights. 4 fights, go.
Alex Bellotti says multi-year, I'm assuming means 2+ years. We don't know. That's the thing. We can assume, and just like Alex, we can assume. But yeah, he and I, we both don't know. You don't know what that means. It's just word salad. You don't know.
Those couple fights that Canelo did with Eddie Hearn and went by in a flash of bat of an eyelash.
Absolutely. And guys, let me tell you this: if you guys like what we're doing, like and subscribe to the channel. Beeb does. It's not uncommon for Beeb to do shows during the week and everything like that, and for us to break in with news and everything. So go ahead and like and subscribe to it if you like what we're doing. If we just entertained you for a little while, just hit the like button, man. That's it. Not asking you for donations or to work in a coal mine or anything. I'm just asking you to hit a button. Just simple, right?
It's that simple.
Easy stuff. All right, let's move on here. DAZN, David Allen versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Makhmudov wins a unanimous decision over Allen, 115-111, 116-110, and 117-109. After the fight, Allen said, quote, "I'm just not good enough." And I think that, we had talked about this before the fight. Arslanbek was the favorite coming in here. Dave Allen was the story. You know what I mean? We all wanted to see Dave Allen win. Didn't happen.
Openly rooted for him in this fight. I have no problem saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think he was going to win, but I was hoping he would.
Right.
Yeah. How could you root against a guy like David Allen?
Yeah, right? Like, really? I mean, Dave Allen's a local hero, man.
He's a great guy, man.
Oh, the funeral, Ricky Hatton's funeral was the same day. You got to root for Dave Allen, right?
Got to root for him.
Iceman says, I'm not working in a coal mine. Great, hit the button, man. That's it.
We're not endorsing like saying you have to work at a coal mine to hit the like button. Just
right.
So you know.
Could be anything.
We're not forcing anyone to have to work in a coal mine. Let's get that out of the way here.
FanDuel actually had, Alexander Wilson says, FanDuel actually had the Allen fight at 50-50 odds. Did you see the odds for the fight? I didn't see him, but I
don't remember seeing 50-50, but
I'll check this out. Aaron Daly said, I was in attendance for the Allen Makhmudov fight. Great night of fights, and the atmosphere was crazy. The whole arena sold out. Listen, I would love to be in a fight in England. I would, any fight, because it seems like such a crazy atmosphere. I mean, it really does.
I was watching that fight, and again, like you're at home in front of your television and listening to how that crowd reacts. It's almost as if you're there sitting in the audience. The crowd is so loud. They're singing while the fight is going on. And Dave Allen will tell you, I'm a domestic level fighter. And I tried to fight world-class fighters, but he is what he is. And the way the crowd responds and gets behind him and cheers for him and sings, and everything he did, they were really cheering. Like every time he hit, how do you pronounce his name again? I always have a problem.
Arslanbek Makhmudov?
Makhmudov, yes. I always have a problem pronouncing the guy's name. Makhmudov. Every time he hit Makhmudov, you could hear the crowd go bananas. You can have, and Makhmudov's not the quickest guy in the world, but he can fight. He knows how to fight. He knows how to put his shots together. He's got a really heavy-handed jab. He's a heavy-handed guy, big, strong, powerful guy. Can box well from the outside, not fleet of foot. And after a while, getting hit with those big ham hocks and the guy leaning on you up close, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, David Allen had his moments in this fight. He rocked him a couple times. He hurt him a couple times. He had him looking at the corner like, what's going on here? And he was looking up at the clock like, just saying, when are these rounds gonna end? So you got to give David Allen credit. Every ounce of ability he had, he used it yesterday and tried his very best. And in the process, we still got an entertaining fight, regardless of the difference in class.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, would you like to see it go in a different way? Of course.
Yeah.
The right guy won.
Yeah.
What do you make of his comments at the end? I just wasn't good enough.
You can't get any more honest than that, right?
Right.
You can't get any more honest than that.
And you never, it's a lot of times, especially with sports, nobody ever, and this goes for just about any sport. Nobody ever admits losses. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Nobody ever admits they were the better guy or they were the better team. It was always like, yeah, when we reflect back on that game, we could have lost. We could have won, but we didn't have our halfback in there. We could have won, but we didn't have this. This guy was injured on defense.
You want to
win.
Yeah, you want to hear something crazy. And I don't know if I told you. I think I told you this before. I don't know if you remember. There's never been more of a confident guy, at least portrays himself as being confident, than Chael Sonnen. Like the way he talks, the way he can sell a fight. And he was in an interview. I forget I'm trying to remember the podcast, what it was. Andrew Schultz's podcast, the comedian. He has a podcast. And he was being interviewed. And he said to Andrew Schultz, he goes, there were fights that I did go into that I knew I wasn't going to win. And he was honest about it. Like, I've never heard a fighter ever say, like most fighters probably feel that, but they never say it openly.
Sure.
Even after they retire. So he goes, when I fought John Jones, I knew I wasn't going to win that fight. I knew I was in over my head. But my my mindset was I'm just going to go in there and do the best I can.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm sure Lima tried to work his way mentally into the fights, thinking he could possibly win. But in the back of his mind, he's probably saying, this guy is a lot better than me. There's no way he's not thinking that. There's no way he's not thinking that. But for Chael Sonnen to openly say that,
that's huge.
That's huge. That's a level of honesty you're not going to see very often, in my opinion.
And you don't see that a lot. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's always everybody, oh, well, if this guy was playing, we would have won, or if the refs, or if this, or if that, if,
Yeah.
And it's never, that's why it was sad to see in a way, because everybody loved Dave Allen. Everybody wanted to see him win that fight.
Yeah.
But he's right. Oh, JC, come on. Oh, that's terrible. Only bums think like that. That's horrible. Come on, man.
You're not going to be invited to any Tony Robbins speeches in the near future, kid.
Right.
That type of mentality.
Right. Tony Robbins is the man, son.
Isn't he?
I love Tony Robbins. He's great. I mean, he just is.
I have nothing bad to say about him.
How can you?
Can't.
How can you say anything bad about Tony Robbins? How many people he helps?
That's right.
He's amazing, man. Come on. You can't mess with that. All right, let's go to the schedule coming up here. Let's see what we got.
It's going to be picking up pretty soon.
Yeah, so we got the 17th coming up on DAZN. Kieran Conway versus George Littard, 12 rounds for Conway's British middleweight title. Jimmy Sains versus Troy Coleman on that undercard, 10 rounds, middleweights. Let's see what we got here. Oh, jeez. All right, so Brooklyn, New York, October 18th. Yeah.
Brooklyn!
This is a pay-per-view, by the way.
Oh, is it the Danny Garcia fight?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the pay-per-view here. Yeah. Danny Garcia versus Danielle Gonzalez. That's a pay-per-view, by the way. Pay-per-view. How much is that fight, Beeb? Do we know?
I'm guessing it's going to be in the $40, $50 range. Yeah, that's a hard no for me.
Yeah, that's horrible, son.
That's a hard no.
Come on, man. Danny Garcia versus Danielle Gonzalez, the co-main. Dominique Crowder versus Fernando Diaz, 10 rounds bantamweights. Matthew Gonzalez versus Wilfredo Flores, 8 rounds junior featherweights. The only other recognizable name, well, they got Chris Colbert on there, Joey DeWacco. Let's see what else here. No. They've got a lot of fights. Listen, they got a lot of fights, and I'm assuming that the pay-per-view will cover all those fights. I'm hoping, if you're going to have to pay for it. But, yeah, this is like one of those YouTube specials like you should just catch on you. If you pay for this, dude.
I think this could potentially be, and I'm not sure if it's 100% being billed as this, but is this could be like a farewell fight for Danny Garcia.
Who cares? Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, really, if that's what you're billing? You haven't fought. Yeah. When was the last time Danny Garcia fought?
I think he fought Arslanbek Lara for the middleweight title, which I don't even know how he got a shot at the middleweight title, but with all, not trying to.
Let's see here.
It is what it is, but.
Yeah, let me find him. Swift Garcia. All right, let's see. When was the last time he fought?
Was it Arslanbek Lara?
2024, 9/14/2024, not that long ago. Arslanbek Lara, yeah.
He got stopped, actually.
Yeah, he got stopped.
Yeah.
And then before that, he fought Jose Benavidez back in 2022. So, yeah, this has got to be his farewell fight, right?
Yeah, I like Danny. He's had a good career. I don't know. I probably not Hall of Fame worthy, but
Virtuoso said $50. That's a quick visit with a prostitute.
Whoa! Please, we don't endorse that type of behavior, please.
Oh my gosh! Also on October 18th on DAZN. Oh geez, from South Padre Island, Texas. Yeah. Lourdes Juarez versus Jessica Neri Plata for 10 rounds for Suarez's WBC Women's Junior Flyweight title. Yeah, that's going to pack the arena. Omar Juarez versus Omar Rosario, the Battle of the Omars, 10 rounds junior welterweights on the co-main. Yeah, yeah, come on, man. That's the zone. We pay for that, by the way. We pay for that. Let's see what else there is on the 18th. Nothing after that. Now, October 25th in London on DAZN, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. Not a bad fight. I watched that one.
It's pay-per-view.
No.
I swear to Christ. Ask Robbie.
No. Is it really?
That's a pay-per-view.
The part here?
Yeah.
Dude.
Again?
Come on. No.
And then you got the jealous girlfriends crying about other shit, and look what's going on in there, under their own noses.
Oh, that's horrible, son.
Pay-per-view, yeah.
That is horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How could you put that on a pay-per-view?
And Ben versus Eubanks a pay-per-view as well.
At least that's, two names we recognize.
Yeah.
I mean, we recognize Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker.
Should Ben Eubank be a pay-per-view in the United States?
No.
It is.
It shouldn't be a pay-per-view, period.
It is.
Ryan actually brings up a pretty good point here. He says, not to cap for Hearn, but he's currently the only American promoter doing recently. Arum has no deal. Garcia is doing pay-per-views. PBC barely has any shows. He's right. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit. And Golden Boys guys aren't selling tickets. Yeah, the Virgil Ortiz apparently is going pretty slow.
Eddie Hearn is the shortest midget, is the tallest midget in the room. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He's the tallest midget in the room. That's great.
There you go. What else can you do with that? And what about, and he brought up a good point there with Top Rank again. What about that? I haven't heard anything on the horizon with that. Like, what are his fighters doing? Like,
yeah, we don't know.
What's going on?
We Xander Zayas is probably going to be making that first defense in Puerto Rico, but who's going to be broadcasting that?
YouTube? I mean, really? Like, who's going to TikTok? I mean, really, what are you doing?
Facebook Live? I mean.
Facebook Live. You're right, though. I mean, that's it. And what do you do without a TV deal? What do you do? Yeah. If you're a fighter who doesn't have a TV deal now, which Top Rank doesn't, you're fighting under their banner. Is that, and I guess it would depend on the way the contract is structured, right? But would TV rights be in there? Is that a reason to default the contract? Is that a reason to break the contract? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about
if
a fighter has a contract with a promoter.
Yep.
And if the promoter doesn't have a TV rights deal.
Yeah.
But the fighter is guaranteed a certain amount of fights and it has to be broadcast. Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, and it has to be written in the contract that way. Like, we offer you 3 fights all on television. But the thing on, whatever.
The good thing about Top Rank historically is they deal with their fighters pretty much on the up and up. So I'm sure they would probably work something out where they could buy out or just cut their loss and get out of their contract if they're not able to provide them with the fights, Well,
look, man, I mean, and buying out of those contracts isn't going to be cheap.
Yeah.
You're talking about money they don't have, or they may have, but it's like, you're not talking, a couple $100 to buy out of a contract. You're talking major money.
Well, they could just release them if they don't. I mean, if they can't get them the fights, then what are they going to keep them around for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Alexander Wilson says Top Rank has some of their guys fighting on pro box cards. I get it.
Yeah.
But what are you going to put Xander on a pro box card? You know what I mean? Like,
once again, this is where the TKO model comes in handy when you got guys who are, like I said, sitting by the phone, waiting to be called up for these undercard fights as maybe opponents or however you want to categorize them. But if these guys have a steady schedule, laid out there for them, then what's wrong with that? If they, instead of waiting by the phone.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. And Top Rank, I think they, that's another one, man. That's a big one. And I keep mentioning Top Rank, because that's a big promotion.
Yeah.
And then they don't have a TV deal yet. Like I haven't even heard of them negotiating with anybody. Now, obviously we're not going to get,
there's been rumors about certain people, like they've been talking like there's been rumors about them getting some type of deal with Stars Network. I'm
That's
not sure.
horrible.
Yeah, but there's been there. I don't know if they're going to be doing any work with DAZN, but they have said that they're talking to multiple broadcasters and they're going to have a deal with more than one, but we don't know what's going to happen yet. I'm sure something's going to happen soon, but it's crazy because TKO has already announced their broadcast deal. It's going to be on Paramount Plus, so
Yeah.
along with the UFC, so they wasted no time in getting the ball rolling with them.
No.
So.
You know, Ryan says, let's see here. He says that Golden Boy isn't garnering any interest in their shows and not shifting many tickets. How you guys let a Brit come and take over is mental, not including Turkey as he runs boxing. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Outside of Zerto Ramirez, what champions does Golden Boy have?
Right. I mean, the big fighter is going to be Ortiz there, right? And Garcia, Ryan Garcia and Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
And Ryan Garcia, you know, I don't know. What's he doing? He just lost to Romero, so what's he doing now?
Yeah.
Romero's going to fight Pacquiao now.
Yeah.
That's the rumor anyway. That's what Pacquiao's people are looking forward to. And if you're Rolly Romero, you going to turn that fight down? No. And that's an easy listen, I think that might be an easy win for Pacquiao, you know.
Now I'm hearing that David Benavidez also may leave the PBC. I'm hearing rumors that he's leaving Samson Lukowicz, who's listed as his promoter, but essentially he's really just a manager.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, you know.
it's funny how all these people in boxing, they have these titles, but they don't really perform the duties of what their titles say they're supposed to do.
For sure. ML0860 says that Lou DiBella got sued once, and I think it was because he couldn't secure a TV deal. That's what I'm wondering. Again, man, like
it's hilarious.
It's got to be in that contract, right?
Yeah,
I would think.
It's hilarious listening to Lou DiBella trying to be the moral compass for boxing when look at Heather Hardy right now. She's like, he continuously put her out there knowing that she should not have been fighting.
She was absolutely compromised. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he just kept putting her out there. You know what I mean? Like how many, you get all these people who want to be the bastion of morality all of a sudden in the sport of boxing when they've been key components to it being fucking destroyed over the years.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden we're supposed to listen to them on what's good for boxing when these are the same people that were complicit in destroying it.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Fucking out of here.
Insane, right? All right, let's go to the news and rumors here, and some sad news, man. A couple sad stories here, but let's start with this one. Ricky Hatton's funeral was yesterday, and thousands of people showed up in Manchester to say goodbye to Ricky Hatton. Celebrities from all walks of life showed up for the send-off. He had a customized casket. Did you see this?
I didn't see it, no.
Richard, it was a blue casket. It was like a blue, like almost like the Carolina blue. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I guess they'll call it Manchester blue or whatever over there.
Yeah.
But it had Richard on one side, on the long side of the coffin, and on the other side, it had Blue Moon on there. And it had Ricky Hatton's logo on there and everything like that. And I just thought it was such a nice way to send off. You know what I mean? It really was. Tons of guys were there. Everybody in British boxing, Tony Bellew, Amir Khan was there. I mean, just a who's who of boxing was there. Tyson Fury was there. Did you happen to see Tyson Fury's suit?
Yeah.
It was just pictures of him on his suit, like, you know.
And a lot of people were giving him stick about it, but it was kind of like an inside joke between him and Ricky.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that, right?
Yeah. So go ahead and explain it. Yeah, go ahead and
yeah. So like Ricky would always like crack on Tyson for wearing those types of suits, and he actually got a kick out of it. And he come to like those suits, and it was part of a little inside joke that they had every time he would see him. Like they would have he talk about his suit, and it was kind of a something that he found funny and entertaining. In the same breath, same token, and that's why he did it. So and everyone's sitting there complaining and crying. Oh, why is he doing it? Like, come on, bro. Like, if anyone could pull off wearing a suit like that, the one person that can is Tyson Fury.
Right, exactly.
Man. Don't talk shit about my cousin.
Your cousin? I thought you just rented the flat from him.
No, very.
Your family, huh?
We're related, man. I mean, he got mad at me because I scored the fight for Ngannou, but
that was messed up that you did.
Every now and then we FaceTime.
Right. He said Fury said he was gonna get one made for Hatton too. He was gonna get one with Ricky's picture all over it and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool.
I get a kick out of those suits. Like I that's kind of like his thing. You know what I mean? That's like that's his signature thing. Those suits.
Yeah, and they're fun. You know, they're fun.
I don't have a problem with him.
And I don't think he doesn't seem like the type that takes himself too seriously.
Yeah, he's
an open book about his whole life.
He's really good at self-deprecating. You know what I mean? He's good at that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, let's talk about Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman. In case you missed it, they were supposed to fight next week. They were supposed to be on the schedule here. And then Fundora pulls out with a hand injury. I was shocked that it was Fundora pulling out, not Thurman.
That's the first thing I was getting ready to be like, oh, not again, Keith. But
right, But Fundora pulled out with a hand injury. Fundora's manager, Samson Lekowitz, and PBC representatives confirmed the injury and the postponement with ESPN on Friday. And that entire event will be postponed. So the entire card is getting moved. He says that Fundora will return in January 2026, Lekowitz told ESPN.
Now, are they going to reschedule that fight, or is he going to fight somebody else? Because the rumors going around is that tickets weren't selling, and this, and you know how the rumors always swirl around when something like this happens. Usually, though, there's a postponement date, and we're not hearing that now.
Yeah, I'm just hearing January 2026.
He's coming back, but it's like no one's saying that this fight is going to be rescheduled. So
you know what sucks though is what happens to all the fighters on the undercard after this?
They don't get paid.
They don't get paid, right? So all their camps and everything like that, their trainers that can't get paid, they got to pay. They got to pay somebody, right? What do?
They don't get paid.
That's horrible. It is. It's horrible. Arturo Gatti Jr. All right, everybody remembers Arturo Gatti. Gatti Jr. was 17 years old and died by an apparent suicide. It was horrible. The WBA actually issued a statement. It says the WBA and the boxing world mourn the passing of Arturo Gatti Jr. The World Boxing Association said in a statement, his journey was just the beginning, yet his spirit will live on, now reunited with his legendary father among the stars. Some of the stuff I read said it was a suicide, and he passed much like his father did. When he I guess they ruled Arturo Sr.'s death as suicide? I can't remember if they did or not. I think everybody thought it was a homicide, but then they ruled it a suicide or something like that.
I guess both of them died in a similar fashion.
Yeah, that's what the paper said. So like,
yeah,
I'm just like,
the way it just, I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, and the kid was an up and coming boxer,
Yeah.
Whether he was going to be as good as Arturo Gatti, I have no idea. Yeah. I had never seen the kid fight or anything.
I wasn't aware of I wasn't really following his career. I didn't know too much about him, but regardless, it's
no. And amateur boxing is a hard thing to follow. I mean,
it's a hard thing to follow.
We follow the world championships since we follow the Olympic trials here and stuff, but overall, man, it's deep. The amateur program is deep, man.
And even me, dare I say this, I've kind of lost interest in a lot of the Olympic fighters because like there's no Sugar Ray Leonards, there's no Floyd Mayweathers, there's no Evander Holyfields anymore. And
the U.S. is kind of bottomed out.
Yeah, it's bottomed out.
Remember they talk about that the 84 and the 88 Olympic teams or whatever? Wasn't it?
It was the 76 and the 84.
84, right?
And then 84. You had Andre Ward winning it in 2004, which was
the last gold medalist, the last American gold medalist.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about Clarissa Shields. Don't talk to me about Clarissa Shields. Andre Ward was the last Olympic American gold medalist.
Yeah.
Shakur was silver. And we still haven't, what was it? What was that? That was 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
time ago.
And you remember, okay, so look at 76 and you look at 84. We had representatives in every single division.
The reason why
just about every single division, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be a hater right now because there's a growing debate on which team was better. But the Cuban boxing team boycotted. They
84, wasn't it?
84, yeah.
Yeah. That was the year. That was in LA, Leonard, right?
Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard beat a Cuban boxer to win his gold medal.
Yeah, he did. And Cuban and the Russian team was out too, weren't they?
Russian team wasn't there.
The Russian and Cuban team too.
So that 80,
at that point,
people are going to hate it. People are going to hate
it
me.
is what it is.
It's an asterisk next to that one.
But okay, so were they the most? Okay, so with the 84 team, were they the best crop of pros coming out? Because in 76, with the 76, you had Sugar Ray, you had Howard Davis, Sugar Ray.
You had the Spinks brothers.
The Spinks brothers both won gold.
Both Spinks brothers won championships.
Yeah, won
Sugar Ray
championships.
Leonard won a title.
Yeah, he lost it to Hagler, but he won the title.
That's blasphemy.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. They all went. But you got Holyfield, you got Pernell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, Mark Breland. Who else do we have?
Pernell Whitaker, Vinno Holyfield, Mark Breland, Tyrell Biggs. I think was on. Tyrell Biggs was on that team too.
Tyrell Biggs, yeah. He beat Mike Tyson, didn't he?
He beat Mike Tyson in the trials.
I
believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or
he didn't beat him in the trials.
Henry Tillman beat him in the trials.
Henry Tillman beat Mike Tyson in the trials.
Yeah,
and he was I think he was the heavyweight, and Biggs was the super heavyweight. Yeah, so I'm sorry. So Tillman was the guy that beat Mike Tyson in the trials.
Yeah, Rafael
Mike Tyson fought him in the pros and knocked him out in one round.
Tim Austin out of Cincy, 1992 gold medalist. Tim Austin, I will tell you this. I'll tell you a story about Tim Austin real quick. Tim Austin, we met him at the Hall of Fame here in Cincinnati, and he is the most down to earth for the stuff that he accomplished in boxing. And as great as he is one of the most down to earth, humble guys you will ever meet.
People say that about Terrence Crawford too. Now,
yeah,
there's been reports of him being a little bit standoffish with the press.
Sure.
But again, the press has kind of run him through the ringer over the years,
For sure they will. Yeah, for sure.
So I can see where he has maybe a bone of contention with some of the people, like Ellie Setback, for instance. Who doesn't not like that guy?
Yeah, right. There you
go. The guy's horrible.
Yeah, but the 84 Olympics, they didn't have the Cubans in there, and they didn't have the Russian team in there, which at the time were the best. Those guys were
Cubans were considered the best Olympians in boxing.
I thought, the Cubans and the Russians always had solid teams. And the U.S. always had a solid team.
Yeah.
So you kind of test your mettle against those guys.
So,
but I'll tell you, man, it's now we're lucky to have 5 boxers.
And you know what? Here's something crazy, Eric. You know how they have the Val Bacher Award, which is the most outstanding boxer in the Olympics? Howard Davis won it. He won that award in the Olympics, and he was the only one, may he rest in peace, that didn't really do well as a pro. Like he didn't
beat Aaron Pryor in the trials.
Yeah,
beat Aaron Pryor in the trials. And Pryor said later on, he said I became Howard Davis' sparring partner. He said I beat him up a couple of times. They fired me. He said, yeah.
For whatever reason, he just never transitioned well as a pro. He never became a title holder.
You see guys, you see some guys like that who go like multiple times, and I think they get used to that amateur style. But that wasn't Howard Davis, though. He was suited more for the amateur style because he never sat down on his punches. He was fast, but he never sat down on those punches.
And think of guys who like to start slow, and they take a couple fail-out rounds, right? That style, that Olympic format is not conducive to their style either,
No. And I always tell people, and again, we talk about this all the time. Bare knuckle fighting is a different sport than boxing. Pro boxing is a different sport than amateur boxing.
Sure.
It is.
I agree.
It's just a different sport. Alex Bellotti says we should do a competition for subscribers to win a T-shirt. We should. That's a great idea.
Maybe we'll do another one of those trivia things. Like Nacho's been wanting a T-shirt for years.
Is that the one where you got robbed?
That's the one where I intentionally lost twice just so I can get Nacho a T-shirt.
Intentionally lost twice.
So
it cracks me up how competitive you were in those things too.
I got robbed.
Oh my God.
Those were loaded questions.
What's the matter with you? All right, guys, listen, man, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at JHabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporter.com, and you can find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will catch you next week.